To Sir with Love is a 1967 British drama film that deals with social and racial issues in an inner-city school. It stars Sidney Poitier and features Christian Roberts, Judy Geeson, Susie Kendall and singer Lulu making her film debut. James Clavell directed from his own screenplay, which was based on E.R. Braithwaite's 1959 autobiographical novel of the same name. The film's title song, To Sir with Love, sung by Lulu, peaked at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the United States for 5 weeks in the autumn of 1967 and ultimately was the best-selling single in the United States of that year. The movie ranked number 27 on Entertainment Weekly's list of the 50 best high school movies. A made-for-television sequel, To Sir with Love II, 1996, was released nearly 3 decades later, with Poitier reprising his starring role. Plot: Mark Thackeray, an immigrant to Britain from British Guiana, must wait a long period to hear about an engineering job he applied for. In the meantime, he accepts a teaching post at North Quay Secondary School in the tough East End of London, as an interim position. Despite having no teaching experience, most of the school's pupils have been rejected from other schools, and their conduct drove the last teacher to resign. The pupils, led by Bert Denham and Pamela Dare, who develops a strong crush on Thackeray, behave badly. Their antics range from disruptive behavior to distasteful pranks. Thackeray retains a calm demeanor, but loses his temper when he discovers something being burned in the classroom stove, which turns out to be a girl's sanitary towel. He orders the boys out of the classroom, then reprimands all the girls, either for being responsible or passively observing, for what he says is their slutty behavior. Thackeray is angry with himself for allowing his pupils to get the better of him. Changing his approach, he informs the class they will no longer study from textbooks until the end of term, when they are due to leave school. He will treat them as adults and expects them to behave as such. You will show respect to me and each other at all times. You will address me as Sir or Mr. Thackeray. Boys will be addressed by their last names. The girls will be likewise addressed and as Miss. They can discuss whatever issues they wish, including relationships, marriage, sex, and applying for jobs. He gradually wins the class over, except for Denham, who continually baits him. Thackeray arranges a class outing to the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Natural History Museum in South Kensington, which goes well. The trip is represented by a series of still photographs as Lulu sings To Sir with Love. He loses some support when he diffuses a potentially violent situation between Potter and a gym teacher, Mr. Bell. In class, he demands that Potter apologize directly to Bell, even if he believes Bell was wrong. The group later refuses to invite Thackeray to the class dance. When mixed-race student Seal's white English mother dies, the class takes up a collection for a wreath but refuse to accept Thackeray's donation. And the students refuse to deliver the wreath to Seal's house in person because their parents wouldn't approve of their visiting a colored person's house. The headmaster tells Thackeray that the adult approach has failed, and future outings are cancelled. Thackeray is to take over the boys' gym classes until the headmaster can find a replacement. Meanwhile, Thackeray receives the engineer job offer in the post. Pamela Dare's mother asks for Thackeray to talk to her daughter about her behavior at home. But this annoys Pamela, who Thackeray believes is in love with him. During a gym class, Denham smugly challenges Thackeray to a boxing match. Denham delivers several blows to Thackeray's face. But the bout comes to an abrupt end when Thackeray delivers one punch to Denham's midsection. However, Thackeray compliments Denham's ability and suggests he teach boxing to the younger pupils next year. Denham expresses his admiration for Thackeray to his classmates. Thackeray regains their respect and is invited to the class dance. Later, when Thackeray attends the funeral of Seal's white English mother, he is touched to find that his lectures on personal choices and responsibility have had an effect. And the entire class has attended. At the dance, Pamela, having overcome her sadness and irritation at Thackeray's imagined rejection of her, persuades Thackeray to be her partner for the Ladies' Choice dance. Afterward, the class presents to Thackeray a little present to remember us by. Thackeray is moved and retires to his classroom. Two younger, rowdy pupils rush into the classroom. In what appears an attempt to be alone together, the two laugh at the sentimentality of Thackeray's gifts. A silver tankard and card. To Sir. With love. With the departing class's signatures. They joke that they will be in his class next year. After they leave. In the film's memorable closing, Thackeray stands up and conspicuously tears up the engineering job offer. Reconciled to the work he has ahead of him. He then takes a flower from the vase on his desk, places it in his lapel, and leaves. Cast. Production. Sidney Poitier and James Clavell wanted to do the film, but Columbia was reluctant. They agreed to make the film for small fees, provided Poitier got 10% of the gross and Clavell 30% of the profits. When we were ready to shoot, Columbia wanted either a rape or a big fight put in, said Martin Baum. We held out, saying this was a gentle story. And we won. The film was shot in Wapping, including the Wapping railway station, and Shadwell in the East End of London, in the Victoria and Albert Museum and at Pinewood Studios. Reception. Upon its US release, Bosley Crowther began his review by contrasting the film with Poitier's role and performance in the 1955 film Blackboard Jungle. Unlike that earlier film, Crowther says, a nice air of gentility suffuses this pretty color film. And Mr. Poitier gives a quaint example of being proper and turning the other cheek. Although he controls himself with difficulty in some of his confrontations with his class, and even flares up on one occasion, he never acts like a bore, the way one of his fellow teachers, played by Geoffrey Bayldon, does. Except for a few barbed comments by the latter, there is little intrusion of or discussion about the issue of race. It is as discreetly played down as are many other probable tensions in this school. To Sir. With Love comes off as a cozy, good-humored and unbelievable little tale. Hallowell's film and video guide describes it as sentimental non-realism and quotes a monthly film bulletin review, possibly contemporary with its British release, which claims that the sententious script sounds as if it has been written by a zealous Sunday school teacher after a particularly exhilarating boycott of South African oranges. The Time Out film guide says that it bears no resemblance to school life as we know it, and the hoodlums' miraculous reformation a week before the end of term, thanks to teacher Poitier, is laughable. Although agreeing with the claims about the film's sentimentality, and giving it a mediocre rating, the Virgin Film Guide asserts, what makes this such an enjoyable film is the mythic nature of Poitier's character. He manages to come across as a real person, while simultaneously embodying everything there is to know about morality, respect and integrity. The film premiered and became a hit 1 month before another film about troubled schools, Up the Down Staircase, appeared. The novel's author E.R. Braithwaite loathed the film, although it provided him with some financial security, particularly because of its portrayal of the novel's interracial relationship. To Sir with Love holds an 89% fresh rating on the review aggregate website Rotten Tomatoes based on 28 reviews. The film grossed $42,432,803 at the box office in the United States, yielding $19,100,000 in rentals on a $640,000 budget, making it the sixth highest grossing picture of 1967 in the U.S. Poitier especially benefited from that film's success, considering he agreed on a mere $30,000 fee in exchange for 10% of the gross box office, and thus arranged one of the most impressive payoffs in film history. In fact, although Columbia insisted on an annual cap to Poitier of $25,000 to fulfill that percentage term, the studio was forced to revise the deal with Poitier when they calculated they would be committed to 80 years of those payments. Soundtrack. The soundtrack album features music by Lulu, The Mindbenders, and incidental music by Ron Grainer. The original album was released on Fontana Records. It was re-released onto CD in 1995. AllMusic rated it 3 stars out of 5. The title song was a Cashbox Top 100 #1 single for 3 weeks. To Sir with Love. Lyrics: Don Black. Music: Mark London. Lulu. School break dancing, stealing my love from me. Lyrics and music: Mark London. Lulu. Thackeray meets faculty. Then alone. Music from Lunch Break, Off and Running. Lyric: Tony Wine. Music: Carol Byer. The Mindbenders. Thackeray loses temper. Gets an idea. Museum outings montage to Sir with Love. Lulu. A classical lesson. Perhaps I could tidy your desk. Potter's loss of temper in gym. Thackeray reads letter about job. Thackeray and denim box in gym. The funeral. End of term dance. It's getting harder all the time. Lyrics: Ben Raleigh. Music: Charles Abertine. The Mindbenders. To Sir with Love. Lulu. James Clavell and Lulu's manager Marion Massey were angered and disappointed when the title song was not included in the nominations for the Academy Award for Best Original Song at the 40th Academy Awards in 1968. Clavell and Massey raised a formal objection to the exclusion, but to no avail. Awards and honors. Awards. Laurel Awards. Sleeper of the Year. 1968. Female New Face 2nd place. Judy Geeson 1968. Nominations. Directors Guild of America. Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures. James Clavell 1967 Laurel Awards. Male New Face. Christian Roberts 196,810th Annual Grammy Awards. Best Original Score from a Motion Picture or Television Show. 1968. Other honors. The film is recognized by American Film Institute in these lists. 2004. AFI's 100 Years. .100 songs. To Sir with Love. Nominated. See also. The Hindi film Imtihan. 1974. Starring Vinod Khanna as the teacher, and Tanuja as his love interest. Was inspired by the film. The Egyptian comedy Madrast al-Mushakabin was inspired by the film. Up the Down Staircase. Also released in 1967. List of teachers portrayed in films. References. External links to Sir with Love at IMDb, to Sir with Love at AllMovie, to Sir with Love at the TCM Movie Database. Christian Roberts and Judy Geeson discuss making To Sir with Love on its 50th anniversary. The Spectrum. Accessed June 7, 2017.